All right, so we're doing an AMA. Usually these are for the Patreon, but this one will be for the YouTube.
Oh, okay. So
we collected...
So I can't flash my titties.
Not in this one, no.
Okay.
We'll do a separate one for the Patreon. If this gets enough views, well, they don't know that. We're trying to get people to watch this fucking thing. So I collected questions from the community tab, the Reddit. Mm-hmm. Not Reddit. What do we have? We have a Discord.
We have a Discord, yes.
All right, we have a
Where
Discord.
Do people put those? I don't know.
It was on there.
It's
we collected them from different. Oh, and then my Facebook too.
Oh, your Facebook. Okay.
So I took all of the questions.
Printed them out.
And I printed them out, and I'm shooting this way out of order because I shot a couple questions at work, and then I shot a couple more questions when I got home.
Okay.
And we're gonna shoot a couple now, and then I'm gonna shoot a couple more tomorrow. But I'm gonna go get a haircut, and I'm gonna edit it all up. So I put it all together where it's like sometimes my hair is longer and sometimes my hair is shorter, and it's gonna make no sense whatsoever. But that's what we do here. But what I thought is let's front load this with all of the controversial.
Okay.
Ones. That way, if you're watching beyond that, actually, you know what I'm gonna do?
What?
We're gonna front load it with controversial ones, but I'm gonna take the most controversial one, the one that people want me to talk about. They want me to talk about Cinemassacre. They want me to talk about Hack the Movies. They want me to talk about Screenwave. That's gonna go at the end. Okay. So they're gonna have to watch to find out. Okay. That's what I do because I'm a YouTube professional. All right, so let's start with the ones that are for you. I'll read them, and then you can answer it. This person didn't feel the need to put their name; they just put truther because they're a Cinemassacre truther from Reddit. Okay. Question from Mets: how did you get involved with all this, and what do you think of the response to you being part of the channel?
How did I get involved? I've talked about this before, but I started working for Newt. Now we are officially at 9 years ago.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Back in May. It's crazy. But yeah, so... and
have you ever told the story about when you came in for your job interview, though?
Yeah, you had to avert your eyes because I was not making eye contact, but part of me was.
It was raining out, and you were wearing like a see-through shirt.
It was a sundress, but because it was raining, that was my no bra era. It's fine. Hey,
I was like a fucking lemur. I was like, don't look down. I don't know how old this person is.
Yeah, I was 18, but even still, you're not trying to be weird. You're just
I was just trying to employ people.
Right. Anyway, so I was working for Newt, and I think it had to have been a couple of months. I think I've told this story before, but I'll recap it. Yeah. A couple months in, he's talking to himself about he's gotten a text. I guess one of his topless actresses had dropped out of Nunchucks for Midnight Show, and I was very spontaneously just like, hey, I'll do it. So that's how I started acting with Newt, and then subsequently, how did I even get on this channel? Initially, it was because we worked near each other. We were working at the Water Tower, and I was working in Adult World out in Montgomeryville, I think it was, somewhere around there. And they were like basically 2 minutes from each other. Yeah. So I would just come over and hang out, and we'd watch movies, we'd film stuff. For a while, I was behind the camera, and then you had me in front of the camera for the first time for corroborating your movie theater stories.
Because everybody's like, you're a fucking liar. You make up all your movie theater stories. So I was like, well, somebody can come here. Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just you know what? The official like adding Mets to the channel I think was you go back. It was Cannibal Ferox, Make Them Die Slowly. We did because it was like it's one of the fucked up movies that we reviewed. So you were like, I have to get Mets in on this. And at the time, I think I was like, drop more fucked up movies you want us to review.
Yeah. Well, because you did Morbius.
Yes,
you did
a couple of them, but like I wasn't supposed to be, because if you watch the Morbius review, it's on you, and then I start talking because I was trying to glue my glasses back together.
You and Melissa.
Yeah, so like there are a couple of reviews I'm in, but it was like clearly not on purpose, or I was behind the camera or whatever. But then that one was like we're putting you in a review on purpose.
And then we started doing streams as well. Because you would just come and hang out. Like,
exactly.
You were there the night that my whole fucking life fell apart.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So that's how I got involved with all that, is just kind of being there. We stayed in contact after you stopped working at the Wayne. We dropped out a little bit when you were working at Cinemaster, just because we were both doing so separate things. And then, but yeah, it was just, I was there when you reached back out, or maybe I don't even remember, but
I think we were just kind of texting each other because
we text on occasion as
because we would go and hang out at the Pop-In.
Yes. Yeah.
Periodically. You came over to the new build, like when I was still working at Screenwave. I showed you the new building before they gutted it and all that kind of stuff. So we stayed in contact that way. We would just watch movies at my house or whatever.
Yeah. But then the response to me being here, I mean, has generally been positive. You guys really love me, and I appreciate that so much. I've been coming up on a year of being friends with Neil and Gerald. Who got Neil getting me into wrestling and all that. And they've just been like a constant force in my life that I appreciate immensely. I don't know, I've connected with a few of you guys. I know Closing Hurdle was going to come out here and visit, and still will at some point, but it wasn't in the cards for when it was originally planned. And just, I don't know, it's been pretty positive. Like, of course there are going to be comments. A lot of people making fun of the way I look, but if I wasn't used to that by now, I mean, you know. No, it's been generally pretty positive, and I'm very happy with it. I like that I found this community, and I'm happy. Yeah,
I like that when we stream, people will message me. It's like, we talked to Mets. When Mets coming over? Like, and I'm
I feel a little bad about that.
I'm like, fucking relax, dude.
Yeah.
It's my channel.
Right.
All right.
I'm just living in it.
Yeah. Mets, what is new? Like, as a friend, you know him. You've known him for a long time. He was your boss, you said, and you seem to be in his corner. But a lot of people have said about him that he's not very nice. He's not a very nice guy. He's a liar, and a certain ex has called him emotionally abusive. What do you think of that? And that is from Gar515.
Okay. I'll answer this in pieces, I suppose. Newt is a pretty great friend. The short answer to all the negative parts is, if that was true, I wouldn't still be here. I don't have a lot of energy in general, and I'm not going to be giving it to people who are emotionally abusive or shitty to me or lie to me.
Or maybe you don't know I'm doing it. Like, remember,
like
it's like
now.
Fun gaslighting,
you
said.
Oh my god, no. But like, I don't really have. I have long since lost tolerance for that sort of thing. I'm so quick to cut people out of my life that if you were like that, I wouldn't keep showing up.
Maybe you just want the fame.
Yeah.
You think eventually this 400 view channel is really going to turn things around for you.
Yep, and I'm just
clout chasing.
Ditch you. No, no, Newt's a great friend.
He's going to write me a long email too about it?
Oh, obviously. It's going to have references to the other one. No, I mean, look, seriously, he's always been in my corner, and you've helped me through a whole lot, even when I was just an employee. You were always willing to listen, willing to offer advice, whether or not I took it is
mostly
unrelated. But no, you were there for me and still are, and I appreciate that immensely. And oh shit, what was wait.
That I'm a liar and I'm emotional.
What do you think of that? I love that. Just like, what do I think of? No,
I think it's great. I think emotional abuse.
Oh, you see me in this corner. Yeah, I gave Newt the opportunity to explain himself a little bit, and I can understand what was going down, and I fully support letting people change and grow as human beings, because none of us are perfect, and I think I've said before, there are much worse people out there, and I'm
much worse people in the place where I used to be, but apparently grooming children is not as bad as plagiarism.
Exactly. So I will continue to be in his corner because he continues to improve as a human being, and
Well, I appreciate that.
Of course.
All right. What else? Some bad ones that we can.
Oh yeah, all the bad ones were on the back of the page, I think.
All right. Let's see. We got the 2 for you. All right. A Truther says, have you ever thought about just apologizing for Monster Madness and ruining James's good name online? People on Reddit will leave you alone. No, they won't.
No, they won't, because you have apologized.
And
like 300 times.
yeah, I've apologized more times than you can imagine for all of this shit. And we're also going on 3 years, and there's one fucking psychopath more than any of them who has like 20-something different Twitter accounts, and I keep blocking them. And I like when people with mental illnesses call me mentally ill. This person is like, they're worrisome.
Yeah.
The things recently, there is a like, the people around them should be worried kind of vibe, you know.
Okay.
But regardless, every time like I post something on Twitter or something like that, or Instagram, it gets made fun of, and it's like you watch me like a hawk, but you pick and choose what you're going to react to. I've apologized a million times for my part in all that shit. In the beginning, I was very angry, and there are people who I can blame, and there are circumstances in which, you know, you could say, well, it wasn't your fucking job in the first place. Like, why does this guy who say that it's his opinions on things doesn't write his own shit? Or why did nobody check the work? And why were you doing 26 of them and you have 15 to do when you're doing all these other jobs? And then I got to a certain point where I went, no, I still did it though. I still said yes. It's still my fault. I still copied and pasted things into a script because I was told it sounds too much like you, make it sound like someone else. And I did that, and I thought it would be rewritten. And then I thought to myself, and when the dust settled, well, why did I think it would be rewritten? Like, why would I expect anyone to do their job over there? Because it's always somebody else's fault. So then I started to push the blame on myself, and that's what I did on this channel, was said, yeah, I created the biggest scandal in the channel's history. I was dragged by the internet. I lost work out of it. I lost friends out of it. I lost loves out of it. You know, and all it took was for me to say, no, Ryan, that's not my job, you know, or to go back and say, you know, okay, I'll rewrite it to make it sound more like James, whatever. But no, I decided to plug in those holes with plagiarism. And as a writer, that is the worst thing you could possibly do. And I suffered the consequences, and I deserve to suffer the consequences. And I've apologized endlessly, but honestly, like, losing my job, losing the love of my life, losing my credibility, and almost losing my life on 3 separate occasions. Because again, you guys on Cinemasker Truth, Reddit, you basically pushed me until I tried to kill myself. And then when I go to the mods and he's like, oh, it's satire, I was like, well, it's not satire when people are attacking my job and all this kind of stuff. And I get, still to this day, like, I'm not with FYE anymore, but they still tell me that they get calls, people trolling me and shit like that. And I don't know why some fucking internet show that's also plagiarized since I left there, but somehow still that's my fault. But again, I did the thing. I'm the one who copied and pasted. I put it in there. And when you do that, once I hit send to James to record it, that's on me, you know? And I can't be mad at anybody else other than myself. And that's it. I apologize. I'm sorry that this thing that you already hate, I made worse. That's it. That's the end of it. All right, let's see. What else we got here? What was the other bad one?
I think they were all at the back. Hang on
Okay.
a second, because this one was fine, this one's fine. Hold on. I read over these
I
briefly.
want to get all these out of the way.
Muttering to myself.
Mhm.
I mean, there were a lot of things that, like, you now basically address where you're like, oh, is plagiarism wrong?
Oh, yeah, is
Will
plagiarism...
Midnight Show and Florida Man ever actually get done?
Oh, okay.
Isn't Florida Man half out at this point?
Florida Man... All right, so what do you say?
Oh, it says... if we're going to word it in a constructive way, what's going on with Midnight Show and Florida Man?
But that's not how he wrote it.
No, it says, will Midnight Show and Florida Man actually ever get done, or is that nothing you lied about?
And who said that?
It just says Truther.
The Truther, exactly. Yeah, Midnight Show, I've been working on since 2012. It was completely done, and then Crystal, Tony, Justin, Kieran all said, we don't want to be involved in your film. You need to remove us from the movie, or Ryan's gonna take legal action against you. So for the last 3 years, what I've been doing is cutting out all of the pieces that they've been part of, which is a lot because Crystal was an executive producer on it, and she's also in like 10 segments. So cutting her out of the movie so that I don't get sued and all that kind of stuff, and then adding new pieces. So yes, Midnight Show will get done, and also because parts of Midnight Show have been popping up in MVD releasing stuff like joysticks and all. And yeah, so that will get done, and Florida Man, 6 issues are completely done. It's taken 3 years, but you have to remember, like, I have to be able to afford to pay the fucking people who make the book, you know?
Yeah.
It's something, you could just write anything. You can just write anything, but then you hand it off to somebody, and an inker and a colorist and all this kind of stuff have to all lay it out. So my goal, and the producer I work with's goal, is to have an announcement of it sometime later this summer, and then for the first 6 issues to come out, and then the next 6, that'll give time for the next 6 issues to come out. So I'm not a fucking liar, you know? And hey, how about motherfuckers, in the last 3 years of all the shit that I've written for other people, look how much stuff has come out.
Yeah.
You know, you Debbie Does Demons is out, Shark Exorcist 2 is out. By the time you see this, Bigfoot Exorcist is out.
Hell yeah.
Scissors is out. I just got money to produce a movie. Like, I've done shit, you know? And yeah, the fucking crazy person from one of their 20 stock accounts.
Or apparently outside the window. No.
Yeah, I keep saying my apartment's like at Sturgis for some reason. But yeah, it's like all the things you do are, you know, they're actually just little pieces. Okay, a director who does shit asked me to be involved in his movie, and I shot a 5 to 10 minute piece of the movie that people are going to be able to see. I'm sorry that doesn't fit your narrative.
It's also that's moving a goalpost anyway, because it's like, hey, are you getting big things done? It's like, oh yeah, I have a writing credit on this. Like, and that's not good enough. Well, it's a thing.
That's
like,
a thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So yeah, they will come out. I'm not a fucking liar. So fuck you. All right, what else you want to do?
All right, I think that's all the negative ones.
All right.
Thankfully.
Let's get into the positive ones.
Okay. How's your health since your surgery? Thank you for asking that, Dana.
Yes. Do I know?
I don't know.
I think if I know who Dana is. Oh, that's from Instagram. Okay.
Okay.
So I did a update back in May, I think it was. So for a really long time, I had unbelievable pain in my groinus area. I thought I had prostate cancer. I was having a really hard time peeing, and I was having a hard time where I couldn't get aroused. So I went to the doctor, and they did a bunch of tests, and I got cameras in my pee hole and in my mouth, down my throat, and all this kind of stuff. And what I actually have was the buildup of scar tissue had gotten so bad from the issue that I had way back, and it was backing things up into my insides. So I had the first surgery, which broke through the scar tissue, and then I need to have the second surgery still, but
things have been better though, or?
A little bit better. Yeah, I can feel like some pain again.
All right.
But it was really funny the first time they broke through. And like all the pressure that was in there, like my stomach went flat. So I was like, okay, I'm not fat. I've just got so much shit built up inside of me. So yeah, and once my new insurance kicks in, my goal is to get in for the second surgery. The urologist is just very busy this summer. My knee is still fucked up. I need to get that looked at once the other stuff's done. My stress level is through the fucking roof. I have terrible depression, but other than that, I'm okay.
That's good. Okay, just so I don't get lost, we're gonna go back to this handwritten one. Favorite feel-good horror. Mine is Friday 4 through 8 and 10. Thoughts on Streets of Fire. Okay, so those are two. Okay, it's I'm sorry, I can read your handwriting, I swear. A.Reser, R-H-E-S-E-R 8181.
Okay. First off, Streets of Fire is awesome. If you're a fan of the Warriors, you'll dig Streets of Fire. Diane Lane is so fucking hot in it. Willem Dafoe is fucking awesome in it. It's this, I don't even know how to classify it. It's this rockabilly jazz fantasy action thing, but it was a major box office failure, and I think it's only starting now to be rediscovered in this neo-noir style. But Willem Dafoe with like a fucking pompadour with a little spit curl, and Diane Lane is the singer in it, and it's from that Warriors era, that Coppola era as well, because she was involved. She was in The Outsiders and stuff like that. So it has that lineage, the Warriors and Rumblefish and stuff like that. So my favorite
your favorite feel good horror.
Feel good horror, because you have like little warm movies I'll put on, like Dracula versus Frankenstein I'll put on to just feel good, or the Monster Squad I'll put on just to feel good, stuff like that. Because you have to be in a certain mindset to watch certain types of horror movies.
Yeah, for sure.
But if I just want to put
horny.
some,
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't really have like a mindset one. Like, I'm not gonna like sit down for fun and go like, I'm gonna watch The Men Behind the Sun today.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know. Yeah, like it's something like Monster Squad, or I like Friday the 13th Part 5 because it's so fucking sleazy and whatever.
I wasn't feeling well Thursday last week, so I called out of training, and I just stayed in bed and I watched 3 Texas Chainsaw movies.
Okay.
I watched the OG. I watched Texas Chainsaw 3D, and I watched Leatherface.
Okay. Well, Leatherface as in Part 3?
No, the prequel situation.
Oh, okay.
That was interesting. I can share my thoughts on those at another time.
The first one is incredible. The first one is
oh my god,
is incredible,
so
absolutely
nice
incredible. I think you and I have watched that a few times.
I love it. I will always rewatch
3D is 3D the one where it's like, do your thing, cuz.
Yeah, that was a little painful. The rest of it was decent.
So that's Clint Eastwood's son was the cop.
Yes.
But the continuity that doesn't make any sense, because if it's supposed to be the 1970s, how is Alexandro Deodato like 20? And if it's supposed to take place in the 80s, then how is that dude a rapper? Like, that SoundCloud rapping didn't exist then. Do you know where Texas Chainsaw Massacre takes place?
I know it's in Texas. Town? I don't. Tony would know this.
Oh,
yeah. Right, because I watched them driving in Sydney.
Tony, my former co-host.
No, my Tony. You know that. I know too many Tonys. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Because I'll be at work and I'll reference Tony, and there's a supervisor named Tony as well. I'm like, yeah, Tony and I were hanging out. Not this one though. Like
a different Tony.
The other one. All right. Backing up. What were your best and worst experiences on set?
Oh. Okay. Go ahead, eat your pretzel. Best on-set experience. Damn, I don't know. There's been some really, really good ones. But there's also been some really, really bad ones.
Fair.
A lot of making Swamp Zombies 2 was very difficult. Len and I did not get along very well. There was Schlock A.M.A shoots pre what we're doing now, where a certain actress who used to be in a lot of my stuff was very rude to a lot of people involved, and made them very uncomfortable because of how she talked to me, and unfortunately how I let her talk to me to get things done. There was shoots with people who, there were some recent shoots where a known actor who refused to do the lines the way they were written and play the part the way it was written. So I just had to kind of throw my hands up and give up and just let him do what he was gonna do. I don't know, but there's also fun, weird ones, like when we shot the Andrew WK video.
Oh my god!
When he got too close to my face and actually stuck me with a Novocaine needle, so I was trying to direct the crowd at the thing where my face was completely numb. I don't know, but there's fun shoots we did for Underbelly and Midnight Show and anytime I get to work with monster suits, I'm happy. Anytime I get to work with blood, I'm happy. I don't know. I like being creative, and I like when everybody's on the same page and everybody's pulling in the same direction, having fun. But there are times when you have to placate the egos of certain actresses and or shooting something like when I used to do the old web show and we would be in the middle of a conversation and I would say something that I thought was pretty funny and then we would stop the tape and then they would take it out again, but one of the other two people would get to say that line as if they came up with it, and that kind of shit used to bug me, but I wasn't in a position to say no to it. So it's always a crapshoot. I don't know. I didn't really answer that question, but nothing really comes to mind. Yeah.
All right.
It's all right. Here, I'll take another one.
What's the rituals one?
Do you have any rituals before a new project? What keeps you in a good headspace? And that is from Brian Young. Brian, I guess my only ritual is I fucking hound my actors beforehand to know their fucking lines. Because I used to have an actress who used to show up not knowing her lines and be like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, yeah, it kind of does matter. I would hound the actors, and then I would also give them homework. If I wrote something that was going to be like a certain thing, I would ask them to watch like YouTube videos from like specific movies or commercials or old TV shows to kind of get the tone that we're going for. And what keeps me in a good headspace? It's never really a good headspace. It's always going into a project and thinking it's going to fail miserably or it's going to be a nightmare, and then finding that you either have a really good time. I know. She's latched onto my fucking foot. Can you not, dude? Elvira's got her claws into my socks. There you go, dummy.
Sorry, I didn't earlier.
Yeah, so I always go into it thinking it's going to be a Swamp Zombies 2 level disaster. And occasionally as things go, if things go well and we're having a good time, it changes my whole demeanor. But at all times, when it comes to a lot of these shoots, it's usually my money and my script and all that kind of stuff. So I'm always waiting for the sort of Damocles to fall. So it's not really a good or a healthy headspace, but it is a headspace. And that's kind of the idea of filmmaking. But there are times you show up to something and soup to nuts, it goes fucking great, and those are good days, but those are few and far between.
We're going the other direction.
We're going the other direction?
There's a red on these.
Okay.
Brian Young again.
Okay.
Hello. What influences help you develop your own voice in writing?
When it comes to and good question, Brian. When it comes to developing my own voice, I don't know. I grew up on B movies. I grew up on a lot of sitcoms on TV and late night comedy hosts and comic books, and then when I discovered The Simpsons and Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith, and I think what it all happens is like everything kind of gets swirled together in my head, and then another big thing is I like to listen to conversations that people have. And I just... Oh,
no wonder you like me so much.
Yeah. But I love to listen... I love to listen to just the weird fucking way that people talk. And I'll put a lot of that into things. I'll remember something from... Either a conversation that people had that I overheard, or some weird fucking thing from a commercial from the 1980s or whatever. And it all kind of goes into the mixer, and then... when I'm writing something, my brain will randomly access some memory,
like
and then
some horrible thing I told you about in 2015.
Yeah, exactly. That's in Scissors. So I don't know. I don't think I have an individual voice. I don't think I'm, you'll never confuse me with David Mamet or Kevin Smith or Quentin Tarantino or anybody like that. But I like to just randomly pull all the nonsense that I grew up with pop culture. Yeah.
Similar-ish question. Also from Brian Young.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you have a mentor when you started Craft of Cinema Storytelling? We started Craft of Cinema Storytelling. Oh, we started the Craft of Cinema Storytelling. I'm sorry. If so, who? And tell us about them.
No.
Fair enough.
When I said I want to make movies, everybody was like, "Good luck with that, dickhead." It wasn't until I was 16 years old that I met James Rolfe at the Atco Multiplex when I worked at the Marlton 8, and he said he made movies. and I was like, holy shit, like I'm trying to make movies. That was the first person my age that I ever met that was into actually putting their ideas on paper and on film, and not that was influential or anything like that, but I was like, okay, there are people like me out there, because I think when we're 16 years old, like this is like the early days of dial-up internet, so it's not like now where you can connect with somebody in fucking Tasmania who's into filmmaking and stuff like that. So no, there was no mentor. It was more so a despite there not being a mentor kind of thing, you know. So that's it.
That's cool in its own right.
Yeah, you know. But I think if I had a mentor, things would be a little bit different, because somebody probably could have leaned me away from the cringy shit, you know. Because I found like a script that I wrote when I was in like 8th grade.
Was it real cringy?
Oh yeah, super cringy. It was like this like pseudo love story kind of thing, but it was also very much because I had seen Chasing Amy, and I was trying to write something that was like quirky and self-referential, and I read it it was called The Loneliest Number, like the Three Dog Night song. One is The Loneliest Number, and I was like, what a fucking
I gotta show you some of I gotta show you some of the old shit that I've written, because it's bad.
Okay. Oh,
alright, your dryer agrees with me.
The dryer's done. We got fucking funny cars blazing in the parking lot. Let's do one more.
Playing.
We got
just one more?
Oh yeah, Toxic playing outside.
That's been stuck in my head since. I was in the bathroom just like... Alright, well let me pick one.
Pick a good one.
Alright, oh, wow. This isn't a question. This is just cute.
Okay.
I'm going to be cheesy and wholesome with this one. Who are some people... Oh, no, it is a question. Okay. Who are some people that make you proud and inspire you that you don't think get enough recognition that you believe they deserve? From Roy Wickes. I can't talk. I'm sorry.
Well, Metz deserves more credit and inspires me.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it's like you put some respect on the name of people who stood by you when you were at your lowest moment. And you and Melissa, and there's a few other people who, you know, there are people, and like, again, you, because we were friends already and stuff like that, but there are people who, like, were in that world of the people I used to be with, and they said no, and they stepped away, which cost them probably influence and money and stuff like that, while other people decided, no, we're sticking with the money, the gravy train. A lot of gravy train with biscuit wheels.
Sounds delicious.
I know, right? There used to be a Conan O'Brien used to do a thing where it was like, this has nothing to do with your question. Conan O'Brien would like hold up like local ads, and they would like make fun of them, but some of them are really funny. It's like, make this gravy boat the lead gravy boat in your gravy navy. I gravy hate myself.
That's amazing.
But no, I think you deserve a ton of credit, and not even just like knowing where you were at your lowest moments to seeing where you are now, getting involved in wrestling, sticking with it, and finding your passion in that. And I find that when people find their passion is when they really unlock something, and you seem like if I can't even compare the person who you are now to the person who I met when I first met you, or when you were at your lowest moments. Like you are like a fully developed character now, you know? So yeah, you would definitely be the person who I would say deserves the most, like, I have nothing but admiration for you, and not just as my friend and stuff like that, but just as a person who's been through so much, persevered, and continues to just fucking kick ass, you know? So, yeah. So...
That's not fair. You're not allowed to do that.
Well, no, I mean, it's true, though, you
I
know?
know.
It's just one of those things, like, so, but there, you know, there's just a ton of people, but you're, like, at the top of the list, like, you're, like, one of my favorite people in the entire world, so,
Thanks.
you know, yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. God damn it.
What a game.
Weird.
Oh, no!
I'll crush you to death.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Alright, you
Anybody
said
who
that was
you,
the
no,
last one.
anybody,
Oh, anybody.
anybody
fuck,
you
I don't know,
respect,
man.
and... And again, this is all part of my gaslighting.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
You got
You
another one in you?
Fuck. Yeah. Sure, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm all sorts of messed up now.
okay.
I didn't.
That was a softball. I just lobbed
You're
that
just
one
like,
up
yeah.
there, you know?
Well, now I'm all worked up because...
And I'm like, Mets.
It's just, I don't know, it's been a rough month or so.
No, I get it.
You know,
I was telling you the other night, I've fallen into this fucking level of depression that I haven't felt in quite a long time, and you know, I was like, can you just come over on Monday? Like, I don't care, I just need somebody to hang out with, you know?
Yeah, dude, when I looked out my window and Joseph had left again, I was like, my stomach dropped. I was like, no, I have to go see it.
Nope.
Oh, man.
I just cried. You're like, yeah, my brother left. I'm probably not gonna come over.
I did not say that. I was like, I'm still gonna try to
in the shower, fully clothed, in the fetal position.
Okay, no, see, now it sounds like I'm just copying you, but legitimately you do inspire me quite a bit, and I'm very proud of you. I'm constantly talking about how impressed I am that you're, like, doing everything that you do. So, deal with it.
I don't do anything. That's the problem.
Oh my god. Hey, I'm not allowed to fight when you are saying it. You're not allowed to fight when I'm saying it. You do so much. You've been consistently not sleeping with how much you're doing, first of all. So I don't want to hear it.
I said to you, I was like, I left my apartment at 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and I returned to my apartment on Sunday at 7 o'clock at night. I fed the cat. I got completely naked. I didn't even bother getting changed. I just laid there. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had no fucking clue where I was.
Yeah.
And I looked at my phone and I was like, is it 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I didn't know where I was. I went into a fucking coma.
Yeah, you started liking messages I had sent you on
at
Instagram.
4 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, I want to yell at him to go to bed, but also
because I work.
If he hasn't slept yet, it's fruitless.
Yeah, I have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And one of the jobs is an overnight job. And the overnight job connects with the morning job, so I leave there at 7 o'clock, and then I have to start at 8:30 at the other one. So I just go one to the other.
Yeah.
I just get changed in the bathroom and stuff like that. So I'm on your schedule.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, where I'm awake for 48 hours, where I can hear my hair growing. That's where we are, you know. But I haven't had a chance to sleep because I was back up this morning at 8 a.m. after not falling back asleep until 6. Yeah. So it's all fucked up. That's fair. But then I have another job interview tomorrow, probably way back. Yeah. That I can maybe drop 2 jobs and just have one job right now. That would be good. So yeah.
Please do
it's other people who are really. It's funny because there's other people who are usually dicks to me. But I'm like, why work 3? They're messaging me online and just starting trouble. I'm like, why work 3 fucking jobs? And the one dude was like, whoa, I'm kind of worried about you.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
But okay, did you want to do
Yeah, let's do another one.
Sure, okay. What are your favorite old, I assume, and new, underrated movies? And do you have any affirmations of things you're grateful for from Joe P?
I
think a couple of these were names I recognized from the Discord, by the way. Roy and Joe, I think, from the Discord. So hi.
Old and new movies that deserve more credit. I don't know. Again, you know me. I like weird shit, but it's not like the old days. You say underrated is one thing, but in an age we live in now where it's not like the old times where if a movie flew under the radar and it was on VHS or nobody knew what it was. Like a midnight movie, grindhouse movie kind of thing, or drive-in movie. Now, because we live in this age where nothing is really lost, you could literally pull up anything, and so it's harder and harder. But there's movies
Sorry, I just wasn't expecting her to go. We're good.
Neil Marshall's Doomsday from 2004 or something or before that, 2003 maybe. Or maybe it's later than that, 2006, 2007. I was dating Kelsey when that came out because we saw it in the movie theater. Okay. But that's a one where it's half Escape from New York, half Mad Max. That's a fun movie that nobody really talks about. There's so much weird shit that I really like that people are like, is that a thing? Did you make that up? You know, I have a lot of that shit hanging in my apartment. So I don't know. There's nothing really that's underrated because I'm sure if I went online right now, I could find 50 movie reviews and a whole community. Son of Dracula, I was I think I'm the only person who's heard of that. And then you're oh, there's a million reviews of it. Or Skate Town USA, and I'm oh, you know. So
fucking fever dream.
And daily affirmations.
Yeah, just things any affirmations of things you're grateful for. So just things you're grateful for.
I'm grateful that I'm grateful for the people who watch this channel. I'm grateful for the community that we've fostered. I'm grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful for, you know, that I still have an opportunity to create things despite everything that's going on. The only really affirmation is the idea of don't fuck things up again.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that there are people who, you know, put their names on the line to back me up when it would be much fucking easier to go the Screenwave route and to go the Tony Hack the Movies and Crystal route, and instead they back me up. So my ultimate goal with everything is to create something to say, look, thank you, this is for you guys more than anything, and not to fuck up again. So that's we'll call this section 1 of the things. Then I'll cross all these out, and then I'll do some more tomorrow. That's all right. Anything you want to add to those?
No. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for following us and watching and asking questions.
Yeah.
And hopefully not being dicks. No, I'm just.
No, I mean, but I was like, I could easily avoid the dickish ones, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the warts and all of it because it's like it's stupid to, you know, and then it gives them more like he deletes negative comments. No, I don't. We just don't get comments in general anymore. Like nobody's watching anymore. But we picked up like 40 fucking subs over the last month, so that's good at least. The Kevin Smith video got some good looks from people. No, I'm so appreciative of the people who stuck with us, and I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to pay everybody back for that. That's why I wanted to do an AMA that was more public than putting it behind a paywall. Again, I don't want to have a Patreon, but it's kind of a necessity right now, and we're almost at that point where I can pay you too. We're $30 fucking away.
Oh, okay.
We're $30 away from me sharing it. Yeah, so that's because we picked up some, and then like some people changed to like giving $1, which is awesome. Thank you. And then there's like 5 people who are just like, nope, and they just went away, and I was like, all right, it's fine, it happens, and money's tight these days, you know. But you know, I'm getting closer and closer to be able to cut you in on things, and then we can kind of start to like create more content for over there.
It'd be fun.
Because most, you know, I've been doing little things for there, putting up videos in advance and stuff like that. But you know, it's also I haven't been focusing on this channel very much because I've been so fucking busy.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do anything else. So all right, so that is part 1, and now I'm gonna connect some of the other ones that I shot, and then I'm gonna shoot some more, and then we'll answer everybody's questions, but I wanted to make sure you were here for the ones about you, and then the negative ones and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, part 1 done.